Welcome back from an ad break. So now we are recapping. As mentioned, we started this journey together on the topic impact of recent legislation on the businesses. We focused on the Skills Development Act. We also focused on the Labor Relations Act. We also focused on the EEA, which is the Employment Equity Act. Under the Skills Development Act, we also touched on the roles of the SETAs. Under Labor Relations Act, we spoke about the employers' and employees' rights as per the legislation, among other things that we've touched on. Right. And then we also found new words in this particular topic. We spoke about the skills development levy. We said it was introduced to ensure that businesses contribute to employees' skills development. We also spoke about the PDIs, which is known as the previously disadvantaged individuals or designated groups. This refers to any person or community disadvantaged by unfair discrimination as guided by the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. We also spoke about the SETAs. We said these organizations were established in order to monitor the implementation of the Skills Development Act. So these are the words that we looked or discussed in this particular topic. So as part of this topic, we want to see if you've learned, just like I've learned. I'm going to leave you with an activity for you to do. Right, but before that, we're going to do the common errors first before we get to the activity that I'm going to leave you with. So now, here are the common mistakes that the learners make. So you need to guard against these common errors. The incorrect identification of the acts. It's very important that you understand all the legislations. You might be required to analyze the impact of the act identified, which will lead to analyzing the impact of an incorrect act. I repeat, you might be required to analyze the impact of the act identified. So if you've incorrectly identified the act, it means you will analyze the impact of the act incorrectly. So it's very important that you understand and you correctly identify the act. Note that even though the main purpose of EEA is to provide equal job opportunities, regardless of the race, regardless of the color and the gender, businesses are compelled to implement affirmative action, which is a policy of the EEA, by making previously disadvantaged individuals a priority when making the appointment. It is very, very important that you understand that. Avoid using the word fair because all acts aim at achieving fairness in different ways though. So avoid saying everything it has to do with fairness. You need to ensure that or avoid that at all costs. Right, as mentioned that I'm going to leave you with a challenging question. Right, so here's a scenario. Here it says the Employment Equity Act was introduced to promote equity in the workplace. This is basically a recap. Businesses are obliged to comply with the requirements of the Act or they will face penalties for non-compliance. So as a challenging question, here the question says, as an expert, advise a business on the penalties for non-compliance with the Employment Equity Act. So I'm going to leave you with this question so that you can ask yourself and answer it so that you can tell whether you understand the question or the topic that we're discussing. So we've come to the end of the topic. As mentioned, we did the impact of the recent legislation. We spoke about the SDA, we spoke about the Labor Relations Act and the Employment Equity Act. I'm hoping to see you next time because I thoroughly enjoyed today's lesson. From me, Ms. Mabue, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.